So, what was the first book you ever read?
First book I ever read was, there was a time when I remember first learning how to read. I was in, I think, the first grade, maybe the second grade. I really love knights. I've always been a history person, but I really love, like, knights in the Middle Ages.
Middle Ages? Would you do Dark Ages or Middle Ages?
I'm a middle-aged man. My head is bald.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, the first book it was like how to be a knight, like you start as a squire, then you go to a page.
How to be a samurai. I mean, like those how-to books or whatever, like how to be like the traditional samurai.
Yeah.
That was my thing. But knight, man, I feel you there. That's
M. Night Shyamalan taught me how to be a samurai.
I don't feel like that's a thing. I don't think he directs movies.
But seriously, you fucking piece of shit.
I mean,
I remember learning.
I'm not trying to shit on your dreams. I'm just saying.
I remember learning how to read. Like, it happens gradually for some people, but I just remember, like, the instance, like, I was just alone in my room, like, sitting next to this box of Legos, like leaning against my bed, and I was like, I'm fucking reading. Like, I'm comprehending the English language. Like, I would ask my parents when I was really young, I'd be like, what language do we speak? And they're like, we speak English. I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
I can honestly say, without a shadow of a doubt, I've never thought that. Like, I've never been like, what language do I speak? Like, because like growing up, I knew I took English, I took language arts.
Yeah.
So I knew that right away. So like I've never been like, Mom, what do we speak? No, I was just like, I speak what I speak. Everybody else speaks what I speak. I don't.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were speaking like Spanish
Spanish
or fucking German. Like I was just like, what is this?
I tell you honestly,
I was like, it sounded like a foreign language. Like, do we speak English? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, English. That's crazy.
I feel like, okay, like, so you got German, right? You speak German. People speak German, right?
I do.
I mean, well,
a little bit.
I mean, it's okay. You get that. There you go. But you got people who speak German. You got people who speak all these different languages, Spanish and all that stuff. Out of all the languages out there, English is the only thing that just sounds plain. Like,
well, that's because everybody speaks English, and we're from America.
I feel you. But like English is just like, well, it's English, okay. But like you got someone who speaks Spanish, it's like you got spicy. They're spicy. They're like very, very hot. You got someone who speaks French, whatever.
It's sauce rolling off your tongue.
Yeah, I mean, but like Germans, you got the whole Hitler thing, so there's that. But
it always sounds aggressive.
I mean, it sounds like I'm gonna rule the world, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm gonna cut off your penis, but then I'm gonna give you some sausage and a cup of beer, and you're gonna like it.
But then you got English. That's just like.
It sounds like really vanilla to us, but.
So you're saying like German people are like that as well?
I think German people would perceive their language as being like really normal also, but there's not like there's not like a billion people that speak German. There's like probably...
I mean, there's like, 6 billion people in the world? So
there's 7 billion now. So there's,
I wouldn't say it would be a billion people that speak German. No,
there's
I would
probably
not say that.
Like 400 million people.
I mean, I can throw out statistics too.
500 million people.
There's probably 20 people that know German, and there's like 7 people who know Spanish. See how I'm doing that? With just like random facts. I mean, I can do that too.
You're not saying what I'm saying. English feels more normal because everybody fucking speaks it. It's like being white is just the default fucking race. Like I'm the Fallout race selector.
I mean, that's because we're white, I guess. Yeah, I feel you.
But there also, I'm pretty sure that there's more. Actually, no, that's not true at all. In Southeast Asia, there's like there's like
I'm sorry,
half of the population lives in
India.
Like
legitimately had a look on your face like
no,
that's not right.
No.
That's not right at all.
It just feels like white is right. It feels right because we're white. Yeah. And you know what? We've been running this shit for a while. Look out.
I don't.
Any listeners of color, get off.
Just
get off right now.
I mean, just don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
And if you're not white, this is. I'm just gonna warn you right now. This is not the show for you.
It's totally the show for you. He is stupid. He is trying to be funny. He's not. So there's that. But at the same time, but anyways,
welcome.
So we kind of just started that off at like a strong note. This is Getting Lost with George and Cody.
I'm George,
and I'm obviously Cody. So yeah, that takes care of introductions, anyways. And I did have a couple things I actually wanted to talk to besides what was your first book?
What are you talking about?
What I want to talk about? The main thing that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you done?
Go ahead.
All right. The main thing I wanted to talk about was music theory. Okay, so like it's not music theory in the sense of the correlation between notes. It's more or less the correlation between how we perceive okay. So in my opinion, I don't know about you, genres are a dying art sort of form, if you will. With music,
genres is a categorization, though.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just like a category. It's like a style.
But yeah, but like, there's so many bands out there that just have so many, like one band has so many different genres that they fall into.
Well, I think that's just like the genre of today. Like that's kind of the stuff that I'm messing with myself. Like I think it's just like genre smashing has been kind of a part of our culture for a long time. Like even
you say a long time,
even in 90s, movies,
maybe 90s.
Definitely, the 90s was like the peak. Like if you watch The Big Lebowski, it's about just this fucking bum, and it's like probably like one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah,
but it's like a western. It's like a film noir. However the hell you say that stupid word. It's like that's like a genre smashing movie, and you don't even like realize. I think it's like, I don't know. I just think it's a huge part of our culture. Like I could think of some other like musical artists.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one of my points is that so as you like, I know that you like psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're looking for a band that has psychedelic rock, and you go on the internet and you type in psychedelic rock, it's going to give you bands with psychedelic rock, right?
Right.
But now if you got like, I don't know, let's say a band that I'm just going to name off the top of my head, like Fergalicious or whatever the frick that band's called.
What? Fergie the singer?
Yeah, like her band.
The band Fergalicious.
I don't even like it. Like 1962. But if you go to that and she's got one song that's psychedelic, that's gonna pop. She doesn't. I'm not saying she does, but I'm just saying, like, it's going to pop up and it's going to introduce you to that. And, I mean, I guess I can see the appeal to that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to listen to that music.
So if it's a random genre made by a pop artist, you won't listen to it. Like, if Katy Perry came out with, like, a bluegrass song, like, you wouldn't listen. Is that what you're saying?
It's not that I'm saying that. It's so much. It's more than that. It's like, okay, so one of my favorite bands of all time is Avenged Sevenfold, and they touch on a lot of different music, and they do a really good job at it. I'm not saying that they don't.
Yeah, but it's still like you can be extremely eclectic, but you can still be you. Like their album, their like self-titled, the white album, with the black skull on it.
With the wings and everything?
Yeah, fucking death bad. So
yeah.
I haven't heard that shit in a minute, but like that.
Yeah, it's been a minute, yeah.
That, I watched like a documentary about them making it, and it was like really cool because they were just like, yeah, we're going to experiment with a bunch of different styles, but it's still like 100% them. Like, yeah, it's metal, but they have like, there's like a song with auto-tune on it, and that they use that as an instrument. There's like all this like auxiliary percussion. There's like there's just like different I don't know, like you can just tell that it's them. It's like it's still like really cohesive.
Yeah.
Like I think that's just the direction that art is going in. It's almost like we're out of individual genres, so we're just kind of like putting them together. Putting them together, and we're just kind of seeing what works.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I
think it's really cool. It makes a new, so like you combine like a stoner movie with like film noir, and then you like put some fucked up shit in there and like some bowling, and then you get The Big Lebowski. You get like a little bit of country, a little bit of hard rock. I'm not
saying that
and you get Avenged Sevenfold.
I totally disagree with the idea of sort of like blending genres together. But what I'm saying is, like, because to be successful in the music industry, at least in my opinion, from what I've seen, I'm not successful in the music industry by any. I can't even play guitar that well.
Yeah.
But So, to be successful, you got to touch as many people as you can.
Definitely.
You got to get the most. So they're,
But you also have to be genuine, and you have to be. I think being genuine is a big part of it.
And that's
you have to have a lot of passion.
Yeah, that's
but
my
also,
point exactly. If you
also,
don't
it needs to
spend
be
a lot
accessible.
of time, if you don't spend a lot of time focusing on one area or whatever, and you branch out, which is a good idea. I mean, I totally agree with all that, but it's just at the same time, we're losing like the modern genre, if you will. Like the idea of a genre is like fading off, and like I mean, at the same time,
Yeah.
I get it, but like at the same time, it's also like, man, it's kind of sad,
I understand that, but it's also like we're just making new genres because there'll always be a way to like categorize it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it's like human nature for me. The whole idea that we have to categorize everything, we have to label everything, and all that. It kind of like, I mean, I'm like a fundamentalist, if you will, if that's a thing. I don't know. But it's just like labels to me are something that just comes like it's human nature.
I think it's important. I think it's not the main focus, but I think how you use language and how you categorize things, I think it's really important.
Yeah, no, yeah. I don't know. So it's like for me,
if something is baseless, then if you don't have a structure for like yourself, then you're just nothing. You're just floating around.
Yeah,
music is good. It's cool to think of music as like just listening to songs. It's cool to think of it as that, but it's also really interesting to think of genres like, oh, this there's like a new, like my friends and I, who are all musicians, we acknowledge that there's like this new style that's happening right now. It's like groove, soulful, like funk and hip hop, but it's also like really fucking trippy and like fucked up, like distorted, grinding, like crazy sounds.
And
it's really interesting.
I do love that,
It's interesting to watch like a wave happen. Like 2016 and 2015 music is like its own thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's really cool to see that happen, but it's also like
dubstep was what, 2012,
2010 and like 2012, but it has roots. It has roots in like earlier stuff.
Yeah, totally. But it was like a phenomenon. It was just
it came out of nowhere.
And then like now everybody's like, I fucking hate dubstep. It's like because they overplayed it. I mean, there's still people that like it, but
that was there's random like mini genres, especially because of the internet. Like the internet creates new genres, just shit that you haven't even heard of.
Yeah.
That's really fascinating. But like, like dubstep in particular it was sort of like a trend thing. I guess the thing that I was just talking about is also a trend. But I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say, but it's like it's cool. It's cool just to like think to categorize stuff, but it can also sort of like limit your scope.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like, not with the times. But like for me, like music, I'm not so much as more or less. I was never really big into music. Like when I listened to a song, I heard it on the radio, I liked it. Whatever. Yeah, if it's cool, whatever. I never really paid attention to categories or rock or whatever. But like when I liked it, and then I never really got into bands. Like most people, like you, for instance, if you like the band, I'll
go and listen to all their albums,
all like Rush, all that jazz, the drummer, the bass drummer, the guitarist, all them guys, their names. Like, but for me, it's like, well, like when I go to explain a band, like it's like got that, it's got that one, and it's got that guy. He's got the long. That's how I explain bands.
Well, some people are song people. Like even like really good musicians are like, lyrics, I like songs. I'm not really an artist person. I like songs.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate artists. Definitely. Like, because I mean, to get up there and perform in front of thousands of people, for me, it's just like, wow, takes a lot of guts, and to do it accurately is just crazy. Like to hit your notes perfectly and stuff like that. Like They say, and like I always hate to say they say, because that could be anybody.
The fuck is they?
Yeah, right.
We're looking for you, they.
They when we find you, we'll get you.
We're gonna cut off your parts.
Yeah, they say that studio quality is the best quality of a song, and when you go to a live concert, the judge for the audience is how close they sound to they do in the studio.
I think that's only for certain types of music though. Like if you're gonna go see Lady Gaga, then you expect like Well, firstly, you expect a really,
I feel
really
like
good
nobody
performance.
should see Lady Gaga.
I disagree.
Disagree wholeheartedly. I love them, if she has a T-shirt, I love her. And if she's listening,
go
to
buy
this,
go
please,
buy your T-shirts. They're on sale at
Gaga.com.
DickCheney.gov.
Really? Dick Cheney. Okay.
So if
2012 all over again.
fuck you. So if you're going to like a pop artist performance, you're expecting a few things. This is just for like pop. Like you have to, with art, you got to view it in like different little sections. I don't know. You just kind of have to balance out your viewpoints. So if we're talking about pop and we're talking about a live performance, you're expecting a crazy performance, like half naked bitches like dancing, fire, lights, fucking loud, bassy music. You're gonna go there with your friends. You're looking at the stage, but you're kind of not. You're involved in your own shit. Getting fucked up in the crowd.
Yeah.
But you also expect it to sound like clean and polished, like very, very clean. Like you don't want her to hit any bum notes. You don't want to hear any jamming. Like you're not even paying attention to the band. You probably don't even want to see a band. You just want to see like that chick, or that you just want to see that dude in his like embroidered jeans.
Not to interrupt you real quick, but you kind of hit on a note that I wanted to talk about. And when you were saying that you want them to hit the right note, you want them to be consistent and all that jazz. When you were saying that, so like there's been some controversy with a lot of artists, and they go on tour and they go on like 30 different concerts in like 2 months or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but they go on a lot really quickly. And their voice gives out, and instead of being like, hey, I can't perform, they fake it and they go on stage and they play pre-recorded stuff and sing.
I'm not really sure how
Britney
often
Spears got caught for that.
I to be honest with you, I don't know if I can't cite any source, but I feel like that doesn't happen, like a vocal backing track. I feel like art and like music in particular, and pop music more particularly now, is like it's way more honest and like upfront. It's not as shallow as people think, even though I'm not a Lady Gaga fan, but I'm sure, she loves...
We gotta stop talking about Lady Gaga.
I don't want to fuck the shit out of that tranny, that transsexual.
Oh, man.
I'm sure she, loves what she does. I don't think as, she's a good artist, I don't like her music. Well, I don't like her music.
Knock the mic down.
I'm not really, a pop music person. There's some songs, but I feel like they're really passionate people, and they care about what they're doing. They want to reach people.
Anybody that performs has to be, in my opinion.
I don't, even fucking ignoramus, like Justin Bieber. We don't really hear about him anymore, but...
No.
But what I'm trying to say is, I don't
somewhere probably.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen in 2011.
Oh yeah,
but
any child star does that. It falls apart.
I don't think that they would play to a vocal backing track, because people just they don't like that. There's been an awakening almost. It sounds really fucking corny and like I'm fried, but it's over the past, I don't know when it started, but it's just seems like there's more and more honesty just out there in general, like in art, everywhere. We want political honesty. That's why we have Donald Trump.
Well,
we just want a random person. We don't want a career person. So it's like, I don't know. It's just very loose. It's just kind of
one of the points I was going to try to make is that okay, so you got them doing that, and you got let's say hypothetically there is a band out there that does that, and so as a fan, as someone who watches or goes to concerts and stuff like that, would you rather have your lead guitarist or let's say lead vocalist or whoever it might be potentially injure themselves doing all these tours so that you can see them, or would you rather pay more money to see them perform less often but more quality?
Quality is good, but it's really cool to see a musician on their grind, just show after show after show after show, and then they go into hiding for a few months and they make an album.
Yeah.
But
or you could be like Guns N' Roses and just totally quit for 25 years.
Yeah, quit, do a lot of drugs, just do fuck shit. Who knows what Axl Rose was doing in that period of time.
if I could be Axl Rose.
Jerking off a lot.
I would do it in front of the mirror, man. Just like look at myself. You know, I'm like, oh god, I'm Axl Rose. I'm the best vocalist of all time.
Christ. Okay. Jesus.
Just stop, please.
So I wouldn't like to see somebody like you play to a backing track, you know, just like whore themselves out. You know, I wouldn't want to see that. I would rather them just wait, you know, till they get their voice better, and, you know, wait for like I love.
Would you rather them cancel their show?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because like there's been a lot of like you know, Def Leppard and a couple older bands, you know, they canceled a couple shows and like, you know, riots and stuff like that, and like, you know, people being mad, upset, you know, and it's like at the same time
that's kind of like an old paradigm though. Like it totally would. I don't know if that would happen. People rioting over music. I mean, people riot over football, but that's like, you know, in fucking
Are we talking
South America.
Football,
like football
or soccer?
Soccer.
The soccer.
Yeah.
They cooked the ball and they had a goal.
Jesus.
It was about right though.
This is a racist program.
But no, it's not.
Leave now.
It's really not. It's just, you know.
It's just me.
It's just
one comment from you and then me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rather I like honesty more than appeasement, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trying to appease the masses.
Yeah, I'd rather an artist be like, my shit is fucked up. You know, like my wife died. My voice is fucked up. I broke my leg. We lost our equipment. You know, we can't perform. I'm really, 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 really sorry. You know, I'd rather them do that.
Give the money back, obviously.
Yeah,
or
give the money back,
or
like,
whatever.
or just promise that you like come back at a later time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something cool to do and stuff like that. That's you know, legit. That's the way to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think honesty is just like that's
the best policy.
It is. It is. There's nothing wrong. Say. There's nothing wrong with being an honest person. We're still looking for you.
When we find you, I'm thinking Illuminati. I'm leaning towards Illuminati.
The Illuminati was founded in 1775 by Adam Weishaupt in Bavaria, but you didn't hear that.
Really? Adam
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of all places, who would have known?
No, I'm serious.
All right. So we talked about music theory for a while, and we could talk about that all day.
And the Illuminati is real. Shouts out to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones? Who's Alex Jones?
He's a conspiracy theorist, talk show host. He's crazy as fuck.
Gotcha.
Shouts out to the lizard people, controlling the galaxy.
Eminem is a lizard person as well.
Shouts out to Eminem, the Queen.
Really? I heard he's a clone.
Any Queen.
Yeah.
The members of Queen, Brian May.
Yeah.
Queen. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Okay. So, in your opinion, right now, right here, I'm being serious. 100%.
Right.
Right now.
Queen.
Time travel possible? Not. Yes.
If you go fast enough, definitely. Just in general, like if you could,
what's the fastest we can go right now? What, Mach 7?
I don't know what the Machs are.
You don't?
I couldn't tell you what a Mach is.
I heard it on a show once. And
I mean, I know it's a real measurement. I'm pretty sure that's like
a measurement.
I'm pretty sure that's like it's an actual
12 parsecs actually.
Unit. Parsec.
It's a unit of distance.
17 quantum bits.
Yeah.
No, but really, if we had stable enough materials, I don't know what the fuck that would be. I'm not a physicist. Physics is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm pretty ignorant about that.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. That was like the most genuine, like, man, that hurt, dude.
So, if we had like a starship made of some crazy shit,
what that crazy shit would be?
Don't know. I really just like.
I mean, I'm just saying hypothetically.
Harder.
My train of thought.
Harder than like.
No, I feel it. Yeah. The hardest metals.
Space shuttle. Like if you could compress like an entire space shuttle into like a piece of sheet metal.
Because I mean, like as of right now, there's nothing that could withstand the travels of speed of light.
No, we can go the speed of sound, but that's like that ain't shit, homie.
No, that's just aerodynamics, man.
Yeah, that's just, quantum unfolding in the
that's not
11th dimension.
No, it's not a thing.
So, if we have a hard enough material,
I
don't know what the fuck that would be, and if we had enough fuel, which is just a lot of money, it would almost be like we would have to harvest the energy of the sun to like put like a Dyson sphere. Do you know what that is?
No, I do not know what a Dyson sphere is.
It's like a theoretical device. I don't really know anything about it. It's a theoretical device where it's.
Do you know anything about this device that I know nothing about?
No. I know the concept. Like I don't. It's just like a fucking science fiction theoretical physics.
Gotcha.
Suck my dick.
Oh.
So Dyson sphere. It is a. That was nice.
Oh, yeah,
Dyson sphere is a it's a theoretical device that a Type 2 civilization, which is another theoretical thing in physics and like science, where a Type 2 civilization is a civilization that can harvest the power of their home star.
So we would be a Type 1 then, right?
We would be like Type 0.6.
0.6. Got you. So we're not
Type 1 harvests all of the energy of their planet. Type 2 harvests the energy of their star.
I feel like we've harvested everything on the planet.
No, not even close. We're like Type 0.6 or 7.
Gotcha. Oh wait, are you saying like depleted? Like there's nothing left on Earth?
Yeah, like fucking wind energy. Anything we can get from the ground, radioactive energy.
I was a little in
in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So we get Type 2 energy from. Type 2 is the energy from the star. Type 3 is the energy that we can harvest from like other planets in our home galaxy. So a Type 2 civilization would use a Dyson sphere. A Dyson sphere is like a bunch of generators that would surround generators. I don't know.
I feel
big
like
vacuums.
I feel like if you were advanced enough, you wouldn't call them generators.
No.
I feel like we're just primitive and call them generators. They make electricity and they come out and it's so much fun. That's about right.
This is an offensive program, I'm telling you folks. So this thing that we've been trying to talk about for at least 3 minutes.
The Dyson sphere.
The Dyson Bowl vacuum is basically a vacuum. It takes all the energy from a star and it just sucks it up. And all the energy from that thing, that Dyson sphere, goes, back to the home planet, and we harvest the energy. It's like we put a giant, like, the opening scene from Invader Zim, how like Zim is standing on top of the Earth and it's covered in like all that metal shit.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Have you seen the show before?
Yeah, no, I have, but
like in the opening credit scene.
I haven't seen the opening. No.
The opening credit scene.
No.
Okay, well, some of you motherfuckers will know what that is.
Yeah.
And there's like all this metal shit. It's that.
Yeah.
He hit his pop filter.
Oh, is this a pop filter? Jeez, I didn't even know.
Piece of shit. So it's just metal surrounding his star, and it sucks up all the energy from the star. So if we had enough energy, and we had like just trillions of dollars for fuel, which is just crazy. We could mine asteroids for money for fuel, and if we had like the metal that I don't know what it is, and we had enough fuel, then definitely we could time travel. Because if you go fast enough, you move through space time, and that's moving through time.
Okay.
We would just have to like, wouldn't be anywhere on Earth.
Just go. Really,
yeah.
In space. Yeah. So I feel like you're arguing that yes, it's possible, right?
Yes, forward in time.
Yeah.
After all that,
right now.
it is possible. Not now. Yeah. Forward in time, not back.
Okay.
That is
all right.
Physically impossible as far as I know.
Since you dropped some knowledge on me, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. And if you already know, I'm going to drop it on the viewers, I guess.
I'm ready. I have my umbrella.
Okay. It's going to be a big load. But so there's this experiment that they did. It's called the 12-inch experiments. It was a couple of scientists at the particle accelerator in
CERN, Switzerland.
Yes. I believe Illuminati 2016. But anyways, so what they did is they took two quantum clocks, which if you don't know what a quantum clock is,
atomic clock.
Well, yeah, atomic clock. That's right.
Run on ones and zeros.
Yeah, ones and zeros. It goes to the lowest decimal point that possible, and basically they put two of those side by side, and they raised one up 12 inches and the other one lower. Okay, and they found that over a period of time, it was about an hour, that the clocks were out of sync. Mm-hmm. And they found out that the closer to gravity you are, I think it was the slower time travels.
Yeah, because like in Interstellar, which is a good example, because we get all this. I think we get all of our stuff from sci-fi. Like even old writers have said that we get all of our
ideas of time travel.
Yeah, we have to make this shit up before we make it into like actual theories.
Definitely.
So Interstellar, when they go toward the black hole, when they go on that planet, that's orbiting around a black hole, time slows down because all of the immense gravity from that black hole is pressing down on the fibers on the blanket of space-time.
Yeah, so getting back to my idea that I was talking about before you interrupted me, I'm not naming names or anything like that. But anyway, so they did a 12-inch experiments and they found out
dick.
They found out that time is different from the closer you are to Earth because the stronger the gravity is. So that it supports the whole black hole theory that you were talking about. So in my personal opinion, with the 12-inch experiment and having space travel that we have now with astronauts and all that jazz, I think the closest in modern civilization that we have to, so to speak, time travelers would be astronauts. Because if the 12-inch experiment was 100% accurate, which I think
it is.
It's
empirically basically is.
Yeah. But like to my knowledge, I'm no theoretical physicist. I don't have a PhD. I don't have any of that jazz. So for me, I don't know. But I guess in my opinion, is time travel possible? 100% because we already have it. Astronauts would be the closest to time travelers.
Yeah. Not like H.G. Wells building a time machine.
No, they wouldn't be able to travel back in time. It'd only
technically
be
we are. Technically, everybody is traveling in time. Because if you just walk, you're time traveling because you're going through space, and space is time. Well, time is space.
That could be argued if you sit in one spot, you're traveling in time.
Well, you're still moving because of all your little particles jiggling around.
I don't have particles actually. It was weird. It was I was a scientific experiment gone wrong, and so.
Well, I was growing in a test tube. So I've got a lot of particles. I've got particles in my nose. Actually. I've got particles in my ear hole. I have a 57 IQ. My brain. 57 my brain is about the size of
a walnut.
Of a big walnut.
Barbarian cream.
Ovarian.
Ovaries.
My brain is about the size of 16 ovaries.
Ooh, wow, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah. You
should probably get that checked. It's probably a tumor.
It's definitely a tumor. So space travel.
Yeah, space travel. But
time travel.
It's actually time travel is space travel.
Time space. Space time.
Continue on. So okay, how about this? I was thinking, I tend to have these really deep thoughts and share them with you, and I've shared this with you. But I wanted to get your deep thoughts on this, so to speak. Oh, those deep thoughts, I love them. But
deep in my pussy.
Yeah. So okay. If you were to create a time machine, a legit time machine that would travel back and forward in time, in my opinion, based on my knowledge, the way you would have to do that is you would have to create a box of some sort that you would sit in, and then it would
cardboard box, and you use your imagination.
Yes. But you would travel back in time to the point of when it was created. You wouldn't travel back in time to when the dinosaurs were because the time machine wasn't yet created because you would need an anchor point. Wouldn't you agree? Some point in time that would just be anchored to that.
Well,
so
roughly, if we're talking about time travel, then we're going to talk about different dimensions. So, like, roughly, according to some theorists, if you hop... if you're going through different points in time, you're kind of hopping dimensions, and you end up in a parallel dimension to ours.
Multiverse theory is what you're talking about.
Yeah. So if you're going forward in time, you're kind of like splitting off of our timeline.
Well, at the moment that you decide to go back in time, it would actually create a parallel universe, and your universe wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
well, it would exist,
any choice makes a new, parallel world somewhere. I don't know where the hell that is, honestly. I guess you just... Yeah, I don't know. But if you go back in time, then maybe you wouldn't need, like, the anchor point because you're just making a new... Wowza. You're just making a new timeline.
Yeah.
Because, the machine wouldn't even have existed. So if you can just seamlessly hop between dimensions...
Oh, you're talking about Doctor Who now, I think.
Yeah, or not dimensions. If you can seamlessly hop between timelines, then you would only need one machine.
Yeah.
But the question is, could you even get back to your own
That's what I'm saying.
timeline
You would need an
or
anchor
dimension
point to do that. To whatever. I mean, if you created a machine that could travel through the dimensions and
with you?
back
If
and
it went with you, then you could go anywhere you wanted.
Yeah, but if it was okay, so if it was stationary in a point.
Are we talking about if there was no multiverse, or if there was a multiverse?
No, let's
Because
say-
if there was a multiverse, then that'd be simple.
Yeah, let's say
Relatively.
there is. You know, if there was an anchor point to where it would exist, it would exist into the same point in every dimension.
So like you physically could not move it.
No,
Okay.
but it would exist in all the dimensions at the exact same time.
In the same place, like even if it was like
It would be in the same place, even like say if you had a lab and you created it in there, and in a different dimension, you never created that lab at that point, it would still be at that point.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like if it's
It'd be anchored.
if it's in like Wisconsin, like in a valley now,
I wouldn't
then you
put
go
anything
back.
in Wisconsin. There's
Then you-
nothing in Wisconsin. If you go to Wisconsin, they tell you to leave because there's nothing there.
There's snow. There's a lot of people with funny accents, and
I feel like you went to Canada.
I mean, it's basically it's Little Canada. It's
Little Canada.
United States of Canada and Wisconsin.
Viewers, here be known that Wisconsin is now known as Little Canada.
Yeah, it's the capital of New Mexico. So
Those are like way different places.
no, they're not. So if it's in Wisconsin in like a valley, and then you go back 600 years to where it's all forest,
Yeah.
you're saying that the machine would just be in the same exact spot,
It would have to be, wouldn't it?
like trees growing inside of it, like Native Americans like dancing on top of it and shit.
Well, I feel like if it was anchored to the point in a dimension, it would change the fabric of the dimension. So, like, if it would anchor to the point, at the point that it anchors, so to speak, it would wipe out the trees or whatever. It would be like a building that would just appear there, and the
But would like the
trees would not exist
ground
anymore.
under it be like modern ground? Would it be the
Depends
same
if that's
soil?
part of the machine. If that's
Yeah.
part of the machine, or
I don't
not.
know. That's really strange.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something interesting to think about. You know, just like if there was a time machine, how would it work? How would it operate? I mean,
I'm just trying to think of what Neil deGrasse Tyson would say.
yeah,
Because if he was here, he'd be like, "Fuck you guys, you're dumb."
you're stupid.
I'm just trying to make an informed. That's Bane, not Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah,
I thought they were the same person. I thought they played the same people.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to think about this stuff without making yourself sound like a complete idiot because
Yeah, definitely.
to have like an informed idea about something is like I think it's important to know what you're talking about. But
Yeah.
I guess that's that's why we're doing this, because we don't know what the hell we're talking about. We're just having a conversation about time machines.
Yeah, definitely. And who doesn't love a good time machine? So
Who doesn't love traveling through space time?
Space Time? Welcome to Space Time with George and Cody.
That's actually a Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast.
Oh, is it? I didn't even
Yeah.
know. I knew who Neil deGrasse Tyson was, but I didn't know he didn't. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil, he lives on the grass and he eats Tyson chicken nuggets.
They're delicious. Yeah.
Tyson's gross. That shit is seriously made from like the scraps, like floor scraps of a factory farm.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
It's shit meat. It's shit quality.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've not really had Tyson. Maybe once or twice. I don't really.
I like those gluten-free chicken strips.
Gluten-free.
Put that shit in a deep fryer.
I don't. Yeah. Anybody who's like, I'm gluten-free, I just want to punch them in the face.
Well, what if they actually have?
I want to drown them.
What if they're actually
in their own
glycemic?
vomit.
What if they're actually glycemic? I know somebody who is. Like he literally has like a hole in his stomach and he can't eat certain shit.
Natural selection is what I'd like to point out. I'm not saying
We're beyond that now.
we're beyond that.
We don't live. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? So like trying saying that we're civilized and we're beyond nature. What do you think of man trying to overcome nature? That's kind of like an old thing. It's like a biblical thing.
I'd say like you could look at the fires in California and stuff like that, because those fires are an exact example of basically what they do. Is we're over Mother Nature. We conquered it, but we haven't, because those fires basically they're theory or what
They're there for a reason. They're meant to happen.
Yeah. They let them burn out. They let them do their own thing because Mother Nature needs to be that way, and we can't really fight it. We can try, but it takes days, sometimes weeks, to fight those fires, and that's a good example of why we're not over Mother Nature. You know, we're not civilized. We're not this all being. We're just humans trying to live, trying to survive. You know.
Yeah, like we're I mean, in like the 1900s, it was like a trendy thing among like the very elite people to it was called eugenics, to sort of tweak the gene pools of mainly like very wealthy, influential white people. So like keep them in our gene pool and eliminate all the people with like mental disabilities. And it was rooted in like scientific racism. That was sort of I was watching Django Unchained last night, and that's a really good example of scientific racism.
Yeah.
And how he was talking about like the dimples in the skull and shit. But that's obviously like all that's been like disproven. But that's that was really popular for a few hundred years, I would say, until, you know, we got like the science we have today in the 60s.
Would you say they say? No.
The society of they.
Yeah.
No, but we can't. We can try to overcome nature, but it's just kind of like
I feel like
it's just kind of fucked up, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, genetic engineering is a nice thing to like eliminate disease. Would be
I feel
nice.
Like it's there for a reason.
It's definitely there for a reason.
That's why I was talking about the fire. I mean, it's got to be there for a reason.
Maybe if we fuck with it, it's gonna end up really badly. Because I've been reading stuff about like futurist science. There's I just saw it on one YouTube channel. A guy brought up this thing called GRAIN, which means genetics, robotics, artificial intelligence, and nanobots. And the genetics part of GRAIN was talking about like designer children and like curing like really fucked up diseases.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He was saying it like that was kind of what the future is going to be like, and it's just really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like we should just maybe try it out, see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I don't know. Give it some space,
abused, man. I feel like
it would totally
be abused.
It would totally be abused. I'm not really sure what I'm trying to say. I just think I know that it feels wrong. It just feels wrong to fuck with how we were born.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Totally. Without getting too fundamental or saying political views on here or anything like that.
I mean, I think it's good.
Yeah. Definitely. But
I'm like freaking out for a reason.
Yeah. No,
it's creepy.
Yeah. To think about. Totally. It's a crazy thing that we still look at ourselves. At least in my opinion, as a society, we still look at ourselves in the Stone Age. Not really, but like as far as what we know to what we don't know, we probably know 1% of what the known knowledge, let's say, so in that,
if you could measure knowledge,
yeah. So
well, then that would mean we already know all of what we know.
Yeah.
Because there's like, there's the stuff that we know, then there's just like everything else.
So what's possible and what's not possible, we don't know. So the only way we can do is try.
Just fucking find out. And we've been experimenting with it.
Just like totally, if we did something like that, if we crossed that line, that proverbial line in the sand, I feel like Mother Nature would just like kick our butt.
The Earth would just explode.
Yeah,
we make one like perfect child, and the Earth is just
it'd be like no.
Yeah, just decide. It's like the core of the Earth just expands. Yeah. The Yellowstone caldera just explodes, and like that'll be the end.
Times, man. In times.
That would be God speaking.
Yeah, speaking. So, what if, in your opinion, what if there was someone out there? Okay, let's say, what if there was someone out there who had, there was one person.
Yeah.
But they had
physical body.
One physical body, but they had 3 different people inside the body. So there was 3 people fighting for control over one body. Okay, and they were all sitting there and they were trying to, I want to go to the mall or I want to go do this. And they were all fighting over
what do you mean like people? Like, would there be different sets of
there would be
memories.
There would be three
different
distinct
personalities. Like, how did they get there? You know, was this person engineered? Was this person made in a lab?
Let's say it was just like a freak accident, but you know, two people died and the other person lived, and those consciousness was transferred. Like, it's not possible in today's science, by no means, to do.
Like in Hinduism, like reincarnation gone wrong.
Yeah, so
three people get crammed inside of one guy's head,
and it's scientifically proven that there is three people. You can read, you know.
Yeah, this is like the big story of the time.
Big story of the time. But they're like, okay, so like as of right now, brain waves are broken up into 5 different categories. And I believe
alpha, beta, theta, delta,
and gamma. And it's broken up into all of those. And so if someone you could read based on those outputs one brainwave, this person would have 2 more on top of that. You know, 2 distinct, all fighting for the same. But
so like 15.
Yeah,
fucking brainwaves,
so to speak. Yeah,
one guy's asleep, the other guy's like really focused, and the other guy is just kind of like in a daze.
That's Adderall.
He took Adderall and it only affected one part of his brain.
Yeah.
So one guy is like shit's popping off in one sector, and the other sector is like he's falling asleep. So he only has 2 right now.
Yeah,
and then now it's just like 2 minds in one man battling for control.
There can only be one.
This summer, Matt Damon.
Coming soon to the theater near you.
Matt Damon.
I don't like Matt
Paul
Damon.
Christoph. Edmonton Philistining.
I feel like you made that last one up.
The Philistining. Featuring Paul Christoph.
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Okay.
Yeah. So getting back to what I was talking about, so you can distinctly tell there's like 3 people in that one body, and since they only have one mind and they only have one brain,
Yeah.
At that point you'd have to say, what are they? What is individuality? What makes
this guy's fucked up.
Yeah, definitely. He's messed up. But if they all started to like think together after time of being in the same body, and they all start doing the same thing, you'd have to think,
would they just get in sync? Like,
they'd be acting like you.
They'd go to sleep at the same time. Like, when one guy, let's just say there's like the principal dude, who like, there's one guy that people know him as.
Well, okay.
The other 2 are just auxiliary people.
Make it a lot more simple. Okay, let's say we got 3 people. Okay. The person that the body is let's say it's me. So let's give this guy Cody, and the other person that's inside the body, let's say, is you. So you got George, and then I'll throw another name out there. Let's say
Christoph.
Alex. No, I won't remember that.
God damn.
So let's say the other person's Alex, for instance. So you got all 3 of these people fighting over for control of the body, and eventually they become united in their decisions of making them.
So this guy has a very difficult life.
Definitely.
He's working at like his IT job.
Yeah.
And he just can't.
Cody's working at his IT job. Yeah.
No, but like the other 2, like what, like, so you can't even fucking identify him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's got a name. Exactly. His name is like Todd.
Yeah, what makes you you? And that's where you come to the point where you got to think memory, right? That's memory is what makes you you. Right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So what is memory? Memory is the synapses firing in your brain, right?
It's just shit that happened previously that you remember.
Yes, that is what memory is.
It's chemicals.
I'm going further than that. Yeah, exactly. It's chemicals. It's the synapses firing and how they fire between each other. Okay, so if you got all these memories of these 2 other people inside Cody's body, Alex and George, at that point, do they become a 4th person? Because they don't.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep. Because if you got different memories, and you don't have the same memories as Cody. Cody doesn't have the same memories as he normally does. George doesn't have the same memories as he does. Alex doesn't.
But do they interact with each other?
Yeah, and they start doing the same things. I mean, at that point...
So are you trying to say, is this whole, like, wrapped up bubble of 3 people, 1 person, which is making it 4?
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Because, I mean, if you lose your individuality...
Don't do LSD.
Right, that's what we did before we did this show. But if you lose your individuality, okay, and you become this other entity, if you will. Let's call him Fred. If you become Fred,
yeah,
you would be a different person.
Fred is 3 people
in one body.
But now he's 4.
Yeah.
Because he has like an identification.
Well,
and
becomes his own
wraps.
self. Right?
Well, if you're just calling 3 things one thing, then that's just one. It's not 4. It's just one thing. And the one thing can be broken down into the 3 parts.
Well, I'm saying if individuality is what the main point of what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah.
And the 3 have, by themselves, have their own individuality, but when they come together into one body, they form a different identity, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is weird because, like, in times where I have, like, just a lot of existential anxiety, like, it almost feels like I, myself, as one person, is, like, 2 people.
Yeah.
You know, there's, like,
yeah.
my personality, then there's, like, my thoughts, then there's, like, my analysis on all of that. So it just feels like a bunch of different people, you know, even though I'm only one person. So it's like...
That's schizophrenia, so if anybody else feels that, you should probably get yourself checked out.
Well, I mean, there is somebody, like, you know, from the other room talking to me that you can't hear. But,
Shut up, Fred!
But, like, so that just makes more people.
I just want to get out.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I couldn't let that one go.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I feel you.
Dude, have you ever felt that before?
Yeah, no, totally.
Like, you feel like there's multiple people inside of you, not literally,
but
it's actual schizophrenia is like you can hear people in the room talking to you, and like you're you know, if you're watching TV, it sounds like the TV is coming from your head, and all fucking shit. But have you ever felt like that before?
Not to get too personal with my personal life, but like growing up, my house burnt down, and like I got kicked out when I was a kid and stuff like that, and my family sort of was partially responsible for that. Now the ones that I do talk to, I love them to death, you know, and all that jazz. I wouldn't trade them for a world, but when I'm around that other family, I'm not Cody, quote unquote. I'm kind of quiet, you know. I'm more like in person, like when I'm kind of talkative and I like to talk and stuff like that. But like when I'm around them, I'm a different person. Now when I'm around my dad, I'm a totally different person than I am around you or my friends and stuff like that. So I do feel that like different people sort of kind of vibe like that are all trying to get out.
Well, maybe that's just what an individual is, because it's extremely normal to
deep, man,
behave. Yeah, that was
profound deep, man.
Profundity.
That's actually spelled with a G, but
I don't know what you're talking about.
Profundities.
But
you just got it. Oh, I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna go hang myself after this commercial break. But
we don't have commercial breaks.
Epsom.
Epsom. That's where you went with that.
Epsom Blue, new from Selsun, Sipsa. Okay, so I guess it's like a part of a
little
person.
Captain in you.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I guess it's a
part.
Shut the fuck up. I guess it's a part of a person. A part of a person.
Yeah.
To behave differently around other people, because like when you're with your friends, you know, you're cussing. You know, you speak your friend language. Yeah, that's what I do. At least me and my friends like have our own language. We talk the same way.
Let it be known, George is fake. What? Go ahead. What? What were you saying? Oh man, you can hear what I'm saying.
Jesus Christ.
No, I feel
But
it.
then,
yeah.
Then when you're talking to your parents, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's not what's acceptable.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like
social morale. Yeah.
Morale?
It's social. What is it called? That's like social hierarchy, so to speak.
Being a person. Being an aware, empathetic person.
Yeah.
So I think it's not that you're different people. I think it's that you just know how to behave around certain people. It's not that you're different.
So
it's not that you're, you have 3 people inside of you. I think it's just knowing how to behave around certain people.
So so what you're saying, like I said, from the point that I was trying to make or whatever. So if you have 3 people that scientifically proven are in one body, in your opinion, they would just be a normal person? Based on what you're saying,
Well,
they would have their own. They would all three uniquely have their own individualities.
Well, they'd be
so
a pretty fucked person.
Yeah, no,
because
totally.
it's like I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying they wouldn't become a fourth person?
No. It would just be 3
people in one body,
quote unquote people. You know what I think of a person is how they behave, and what they remember.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And that's basically what makes a person.
If you're sharing one brain, wouldn't you share memories? I would think, right? Because if you're sharing memories,
know.
I mean,
there's only one part of your brain, or there's only so many parts of your brain, as far as I know, that deal with memories.
Yeah.
And there's only so many parts of your brain that deal with, like what makes you an individual. You know, there's your prefrontal cortex.
Okay.
Which, you know, is control of your perception, your individuality, your decision making, and all that.
I should probably go get that checked out. I have shitty decision making.
Oh well, we're not. It's fully developed when you're like 26. So that's why, you know, when you get past.
Give me a second. I got to count on my hands how old I am.
Okay.
Okay.
That's staged.
I'm 23.
Okay, so you got about 4 more years till you can make good decisions.
It's
3
totally,
or 4.
It's totally staged.
Yeah, that was fake as fuck.
Yeah,
you fake as shit, man.
Yeah, you fake, bro. Okay, so just to give you guys a idea of how
and gals,
how crazy of an idea this whole idea of individuality and all that jazz came from. And I was sitting at a stoplight, okay, and I was waiting, and I had just got some food. And I saw 3 balloons all tied together trying to get to their own places.
Yeah.
So I was like...
So you saw the first sighting of self-aware balloons tied into a balloon king.
Well, see, the thing is there was 3 of them, okay? And they formed a triangle. And I knew the Illuminati was close. And
the Illuminati was right around the
about
corner.
This way too
right
much.
right here in Blue Ash.
Yeah.
The Illuminati has a balloon factory.
Yeah.
So look out, people.
Burbank.
What?
I don't know. But yeah, so I saw it and I was just like, you know, literally my entire way home, I was like, man, what is individuality? And like, so, you know, I brought this to you here, and then, you know, we go from that little idea to this crazy concept of just deep thoughts. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. That's what we do here on this podcast. At, you know, getting
we
lost.
Talk.
And you guys listen.
We perceive. We create.
Yeah. What do we create?
We make lots of weird noises with our mouths.
That's called talking.
We do a lot of that. The thing you just heard, there's a lot of
messing with the mic.
Messing.
Yes.
There's squeaking.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there's no sips. You won't hear very many sips.
What?
Okay, so there was one sip. There was our first annual sip of the show. We are no NPR. We're not the masters. We're not the masters of sips. So you're not going to be hearing a whole lot of that, but we can guarantee you a lot of popping noises.
All right.
A lot of close
mic talks.
Close diaphragm distortion.
So we're gonna have to fix this later.
No, it'll be fine.
No, it won't.
What were you gonna say?
No, we're just we're coming to the close of the podcast, and I just really wanted to like close on a I don't know.
Put some clothes on.
Oh,
we're naked.
Why didn't you say anything?
I like your nipple hair.
Oh, it is. I braid it, you know, so nice. I put some beads on it sometimes.
Jesus,
is that not normal?
It's not.
People don't put braids on their nipple?
Not in this country.
All right. Well, anyways, I think we're going to end it right there. I think this was a good stopping point. So, I'm Cody.
I'm George.
And this was Getting Lost with George and Cody. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping in. Tell your friends. Tell your parents. Keep on sipping. Keep on tripping. Actually, don't do that.
No.
Make make good decisions, and see you guys.